Welcome back to Open Window Politics. Today we're going to be doing a prediction between Governor Gavin Newsom, the current Democratic governor of California, of course on the Democratic side, versus J.D. Vance, the current vice president in the Trump administration, current vice president. Both of these candidates at the moment are regarded as being the most likely to be their respective parties' nominations. We've still got quite a while before 2028, and things could definitely change. There's probably going to be candidates that will throw their name into the race for both the Republican and Democratic side. But at the moment, these two people are seen as the more likely options for their party's nominations. I'm not predicting that either of them will be, but we're just going to do a hypothetical prediction between each of these candidates on the general election. So we'll start out in the state of Nevada and then move eastward. So I do think that J.D. Vance has got some appeal. I think Newsom does as well. It'll be interesting to see because we've seen Trump as the head of the Republican Party and the Republican Party's nominations for like 12 years. So it'll be interesting to see what a Republican other than Trump will bring to the electorate. And I think that there is a good chance there will be some positives and some negatives from it. I do think that there are some more moderate Republicans in the throughout the Sun Belt that would, when the choice was between Biden and Trump, went with Biden, but if a candidate like J.D. Vance, who is still controversial for sure, but less scandal-ridden, that he would have a better shot at winning over some of those moderates. At the moment, I think that it would not be enough to win the state of Nevada. We've also seen Democrats perform quite well in recent elections, so I'm going to go with the tilt blue prediction for the state of Nevada. I think that, like I mentioned earlier, J.D. Vance would have some appeal with some more moderate Republicans. I think that would play well in the state of Arizona, kind of just like I mentioned before. So I do think that Arizona would end up in the Republican Party's column. Then I will go now to the other half of the Sun Belt, the eastern half. So I do think in the state of Georgia, this is probably Newsom territory that he'd be able to win it. Have to see if these people are even the candidates in the first place, but I do think if the election were to be held today, things are looking pretty good for the Democrats. I'm going to go with a tilt blue prediction for Georgia. And then we get to North Carolina. North Carolina, generally, fairly consistently votes Republican, so I'm going to put the state in the Republican column. North Carolina does have an interesting Senate election here in 2026 that right now the Democrat is currently projected to win. We'll have to see what happens, but that can give us an indication of how the state will perform on the presidential level in 2028. Then we get to these three Rust Belt states that will really determine the presidency. Right now it is 247 to 246. We will actually go to the swing district here in Omaha. I think that I might even be willing to put that in the leading category, but I did say I do tilt for all the swing states and swing districts. Even Harris was able to win this swing district in Nebraska, so I think it would be a pretty easy victory for Gavin Newsom to take that vote. And now we get to the three Rust Belt states, 248 to 246. Generally, the Rust Belt votes together. I do think that Pennsylvania is probably Republicans' best shot at winning one of these Rust Belt states at the moment. At the moment, I think if I were to call them, they would all go together. And I'm going to go with a blue victory, Democratic victory for Gavin Newsom in the three Rust Belt states. J.D. Vance does have some Rust Belt appeal. He is, of course, senator from Ohio before he was picked as running mate / vice president. So that is going to be the prediction for now. Feel free to agree or disagree with me in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.